Hey everybody, it's me, Akasha Wolf, and today we are doing another questions video. So, I love you guys. You did so awesome with giving me questions down at the bottom of that other video. FAQ and then your question. Great job. Thank you. And you guys are so smart. I love your questions because they're really good questions to be asking. So, anyways, for the first question, this is a question that I should have mentioned in the previous video, but I didn't really get to it because I forgot about it. And it's another one of those weirdo demon ones, and I'm sorry that if you guys are getting sick of this, but the thing is that I'd rather you guys know about it so that way you know not to do it and it's not worth the effort. So anyways, one of the questions I get is, can a demon make you their bride, or could you like call up a demon or like a succubus or something to actually like have a relationship or, you know, sexual contact with them and stuff like that? And you guys, incubus and a succubus is not necessarily what some may think. I'm not saying all you guys think the same way, but for the most part, a lot of people would call upon one for, you know, sexual pleasure, lustful pleasure and stuff like that. And for some of you, you think of demons as Inuyasha, or Lord Sesshomaru, or stuff like that. Who is it, Naraku? Naraku is like the bad guy of the whole thing with the Inuyasha and stuff like that. And out of all the demons on that show in particular, I think that Naraku is like the closest kind of explanation of a demon and how they are, but they're a little more worse than he is. So think about that, you know? And the thing is that this is what you guys don't understand, is that if you're, one, a demon would not want a bride, you know, because then that would be like something that is sacred, you know, to be married. And you wouldn't be the only one, even if they like were to hook up with you, if they did at all. And, yeah, you'd be jealous, you know. The thing is that they do it if they have any kind of sexual contact, because there are stories where you see spirits and stuff like that will, like, you know, yeah, with certain people and stuff. And the thing is that it's not like what you think at all. When it comes to incubus and a succubus, they're draining you of your life force and your energy. That's the whole thing with them. It's not you gonna be doing so well, you know. It's a possibility of like getting hecka weak and all this other stuff, and more susceptible to possession and everything like that. And another thing too is that when, for example, like Inuyasha or True Blood or whatever, you know, all those mystical like things, like all those shows where you see this person, this girl, who gets with these like off crazy creepy creature people. Not creepy, or you know what I mean. But the point that I'm making is that when you see them get with certain characters or whatever's like that with, you know, people and stuff, if you pay attention, it's a whole attraction with purity. There is a purity within these girls. You know, they're not looking for these demons and everything like that to hook up with. So if you're looking for it, you're not showing that kind of purity that most of them do. For example, Sookie Stackhouse from True Blood. Those vampires, like Eric, he's like a bad mofo, but he's attracted to her. It's because of her purity. She's good-hearted, and she's pure, and she sees good in everyone. Same with Kagome, with Inuyasha. He loves Kagome because, like, he loves her, and she's a good person, and that innocence that she has. But she has that toughness, just like Sookie does. Just like most of the characters do in cartoons or whatever, there's that sense of innocence and purity. And that's what attracts that attracts the certain characters in there. So if you're going looking for it, that is not pure. That's kind of dirty if you think about it. If you're looking for like a demon to hook up with and whatever, it's because you feel like you're not being loved or something like that, so you try to find it elsewhere, like from something like that. And the thing is that when it comes to those things working that way, it's that inner purity and just innocence and good-heartedness, and that slight bit of spunk. So going looking for it is more of like a dirty kind of thing. And if you pay attention to the cartoons and stuff like that, it doesn't work that way. So, anyways, let's get off that subject. So, for the next question, there is, I'm trying to say this right, but I'll have the question pop up here. But anyways, do the different moons of the zodiac have anything to do, with casting certain spells and stuff like that? And if you guys know, we're moving into the age of Aquarius, or I think we're already in it. We're getting in there anyways. But, that's completely different. But the different moons is the full moons and stuff like that, and what the month represents zodiac-wise. And the thing with that is that basically, it doesn't really matter when it comes to certain spells. Certain moons do, have a bit of, a stronger effect and stuff like that. But I do feel that the planets and everything do have this effect to spells and stuff like that. But the whole thing is that basically the strength of your intent and your belief is a lot more stronger. But the moons and stuff like that do help out. So it can give you a little bit of a kick in your spell. And the thing is that when you get certain spells, you don't have to go by if they tell you certain moons and stuff like that. And I have tried that before, and I've done to where I haven't done it on a specific moon or a specific day of the week. And it worked out just fine, And the moons and stuff like that, it seems like when I've tried it, it hasn't, really mattered to me too much. And to me, I feel like it's more your guys' intent. You guys have the control over it, you know what I mean? The thing is that for some of you, you'll read in a book that it's better if you do it on this moon, that moon, and not to do certain spells on certain moons. And the thing is that you have that mindset. So since you're believing it, that's how it is. So take it from me that you don't need it, but if you want a little bit of a kick or some juice or extra energy to the spell, do it on those moons and stuff if you want. But it's completely up to you. Next question, again, down below at the bottom. If you don't have certain herbs or certain candles, what can you use instead? This is a really good question, and I really love that you guys actually gave me some questions to answer. So this is the thing, something that I've told you guys before, is that you don't need all that stuff to cast a spell. And when I say this, I mean you don't need certain herbs and you don't need certain candles. A book or something may call for it, but you don't necessarily need it. And what you can do is you can actually imagine these things. For example, you can imagine the herb and its properties. You can imagine the candles being all set up and everything like that. But for some of you might not be like, really? Well, but a spell can be as simple as writing it on a piece of paper and burning it and giving the intent out there. So when it comes to using other herbs and stuff like that, you don't always need herbs, you guys. You don't have to use it. And if you don't have certain herbs, you guys can go out and get some grass and crush that up with the basic intent of what it's supposed to do, and there you go, you got yourself a good working spell. And with the candles and stuff like that, some people can't have candles because, some of you are young and fire and stuff like that. And, that's very understandable, being a parent and stuff like that. You got to be careful with people burning down the house. I know it's not intentional, but it can happen. And everything like that. But when it comes to not having candles, you can do the same thing. You can just have something random, simple as this and whatever. That's a good idea. You can just get a nail polish or whatever and just have it standing there for its certain color and pretend it's your candle. Same with crayons. You can just have crayons sitting there and pretend it's your candle. This sounds stupid, but it's not stupid. It's the symbolism behind it, you guys. Magic is all symbolism too, and intent and belief and stuff like that. So as long as you believe it and you have that intent and you project your energy out there, you'll be fine. You don't have to have herbs and you don't have to have candles. Next question is, what protection spell that I use for my altar? And I think a lot of you guys got excited when I started talking about the whole ring throwing thing and the way my altar acts when it comes to protecting. And it's really weird, that my altar actually does do that. And the thing is, though, is that I didn't have an exact, thing that I did to it. That if you guys looked at my, witch's cupboard video where I'm cleaning it and cleaning my altar and stuff like that, that's my basic thing. But when I'm doing it, I have the intent in my mind that I'm cleaning it of negative energy, and I want it to be protected. Like, I put that intent that is protected. I've even put that one, like, to where, like, with some of my items and stuff like that, if I don't want them touched, people will, like, feel like a burning sensation. And that sounds messed up, but when you got certain brothers and sisters that are stinkers, you know, you gotta push them off. Not push him, but you know what I mean. Like, I got a 15-year-old brother, and he's a stinker. He like, is so bad. And he can be, like, for some reason, he just gets these, like, random urges to chew on stuff. And he's, like, actually destroyed things of mine like that. Like, I had this cute pen, and it had, like, a puppy on top, and he had big old eyes and everything. And I don't know what came over this kid. He just, like, grabbed my pen, will sit doing something, and then he'll chew on it and, like, eat it. Like plastic or whatever he can get his stinking mouth on. And, like, even my earphones, he's, like, eating them, you know? So, I don't want him, like, chewing on my wand or something, or anything I have on my altar, so it sends a burning sensation. You're not going to actually, like, get burned and scorched and shit like that, but it's just, you know, the way it is. Like, I keep my intent to basically have it protected, and for it to be protected when I'm not here. So, basically something will go down if you touch it. So that was basically, like, kind of what I did for it. Just, you know, put the intent on the altar, just like, you're protected, and this is how you're going to protect it. Next question down below again. This question is basically, I'm going this from, like, off the top of my head. It's, other than stones and herbs and stuff like that, what other things that I can use as a power source? Now, this is as simple as rising energy from the earth. What you do is, you're your power source, basically. Look at it that way. You are your power source. You are the adjustable stone. You are the adjustable herb to, like, do whatever your intent is. You're the candle. You're the herb. You're the stone. You're the power source. And, like, wherever you, like, receive energy from, like, your deities, they don't have to be standing in front of you, you guys. You don't have to have a statue of them. That is your power source. Here, your power source. You are your power source. So it's that simple. As long as you have you, which you should always have you have magic, and you have power, and you have energy. That's just how it is, and it's very, very simple. And even the earth, if you need a little bit of help, ask some help from the earth and the universe, because they have unlimited amount of energy. So you could, like, go out and get a stone or a rock off the floor, and that could be your energy source. And you can get dirt and do the same thing, energy source. Grass, energy source. Touch a tree, you got yourself a source. It's that simple, you guys. How do I know the spell has worked after I casted it? Good question. A lot of times when you cast a spell, or when you, like, do a spell or something like that, one of the things a lot of people usually do, or witches, what a lot of witches like to do is they like to use a pendulum. And what the pendulum does is that what you do is you ask it, and you ask it if it's the right time to do a spell, or if it's the right time for this to be done, or would it work, or even when you're done with your spell, you can ask your pendulum, or whatever you may have as a divination tool, such as your cards, to actually see if it has worked or not. And this is, like, kind of like a hard thing to, like, predict, which is why it's best to use divination tools. And it's just almost like that feeling of, like, success within you, too, that you know this spell is going to work. As long as you feel it in you and in your mind that something is going to work, it's going to happen. Next question. Is there a spell that can heal people physically? Now, there are all kinds of spells out there, you guys, and, like, all kinds of healing spells, depending on what you want to use it for, are for all kinds of things. You could get to where you use, like, a doll magic, not voodoo, you guys, doll magic, and you can actually stuff this doll with certain herbs, like, you know, medicinal herbs and stuff like that, that are used for those certain properties of what may be wrong with a person. And one of those things that is not even a spell is Reiki. If you guys know what Reiki is, it's basically, you know, using your energy and healing and stuff like that. I'll get into more details with that next video. My grandmother's a Reiki master, and, you know, she, like, deals with that, like, a lot. So, anyways, the thing is that there's that, and there's other ways to actually heal. And one of the, like, things that I like more is the doll. So what you do is you create a doll, you fill it up with the medicinal herbs and like certain herbs and stuff that are supposed to help with certain things. And you can also get certain stones. You don't have to do all of this, but you can do some of it. And it's as simple as just having a doll. That's it. And you can put the stones in there for what the stone represents and what it can help in the body. And what you do is you focus your energy on a certain part of the body that might be having a problem. And you just focus it and you just basically send your love and your intent for them to be healed and all that stuff. You know, it's your intent and the care that you have for that person that you're actually helping. And it actually works really, really well, especially when it's coming from, you know, the heart. And it's as simple as that. And also, like, try to get, like, if you can, like, a picture or something like that. Get a picture, do the same thing, and just focus on them. It's that simple, you guys. And there's, like, a lot of spells out there that
This one
is, which religion helps me to, like, bring someone to me or something like that. Or to get, like, a certain amount of people to, like, fall in love with them and stuff. Question, again, you'll see at the bottom. Because, yeah. Anyways, there's no religion that specifically does do that, like, in specific. And basically that's just all your intent and what you believe. Like voodoo, gypsies, and gypsies is not even really like a kind of magic, is how I feel about it. To me it's like old stuff and what they would do, spells that they may have done. But anyways, I'm not talking about that. But when it came to like gypsies is that, you know, they did a lot of love spells. And gypsies is like a kind of a word for an Egyptian. It's kind of like, it was considered kind of like a mean word, like such as other mean words for a certain race of people. And a lot of them did do like love spells and stuff like that for like attraction. And voodoo, you know, you could use voodoo. Voodoo to me is like more revengeful though. But there's like different, there's not really a religion that practices that in particular. And for you, or if you had that intent to actually like do something like that, that's up to you, and that's just you, like, you look up certain spells and stuff that like do that instead of like trying to pick a specific religion that just does that. Because no matter the religion, there's going to be karma, you guys. There's going to be like karma. If it's bad, you know, or considered bad in karma's eyes or God's eyes, then it's going to backfire, something's going to happen. It's not on what religion you come from that's going to, like, protect you.
Good
know what
question
I mean? Is, where can I find a basically legit, like, online person who will cast spells for them and that is not a scam? Like, how can you, like, figure out whether it's a scam or not? Okay, so this is the thing. When it comes to, like, spellcasters and stuff like that. Something that you need to pay attention to is look at the site, see if there's like a part where members will, you know, comment, oh, they helped me out, stuff like that. Another thing too is the money that they may be charging you for it. If it's really ridiculous, like, there's like no point in going into it anyway. When it comes to witches and people who really like do have this thing with the craft, it's not charging. You don't charge someone to like do a spell for them, or at least that's how I feel. It's like donation. Like, don't be greedy either. Like, don't be like chintzy if someone's helping you out like that. But the thing is that also don't pay like a ridiculous amount of money. Like, if anything, they should be charging you for what they may need for the spell, or yeah, what they may need for the spell, and you know, the time or the amount of money for like what they've casted. So if someone is charging you like $1,000, that's ridiculous. You know, that's not right. I wouldn't like pay for that. And the thing is too is that they could be someone who is, you can't really monitor someone like that. And even if like a person were to cast a spell for you, you don't know if it really happened, because it can take some time, and then you'll start to not believe in them. And then that disbelief can also cause like an effect on them casting the spell in the first place. And another thing too is that they don't have that love or intent like you do for whatever you wanted the spell to do in the first place. And my grandmother's friend who actually went to someone online and they like did up a necklace for her and stuff like that, and they were $30. See, that's not too bad, and no one can touch this necklace. And what he does is that he basically puts the intent on it, or does something to it, that is for her specific need, and she wears it and no one can touch it. But yeah, stuff like that. See, he charged like $30. That's not bad. Now, if someone's charging like $30,000, $1,000, even like $500, unless like they like we're using like dramatic stuff, which you do not even need. Like, you're better off doing the spell yourself, you guys. But it all depends on what they're using for the ritual or the spell that they're casting, you know. And me, I haven't looked up online spellcasters or anything like that because, you know, it's my practice. It's something that I do. And I don't like doing spells for other people, you know, because there's that possibility it won't work because it depends on the, you know, on my intent for you guys. Like, I can want something for you, but doesn't mean it's going to happen, because it's like, I'm not trying to make this like sound wrong or like I don't care about you guys, because you know I love you guys. But the thing is that, like, yeah, there's a possibility it might not work because it's not the right time for it and stuff like that. And, like, that can create a lot of enemies, you know, if you don't do certain things that people want. And it usually comes down to, like, love and stuff like that. That's karma on myself. So I may be getting paid, but I'm just going to get stomped on in the end because, you know, I'm doing something that is not a good idea to be doing. So that's basically, like, me signing something being like, okay, I'm going to let this bad stuff happen to me, you know. And that's why I don't cast spells. I'll just give you the information for you guys to do it yourselves. Unless it's like healing or something like that. Healing is like a whole other story because I like to do that for people. And when it comes to me casting for people, they have to be like people here. And usually I make them do it, but I just like work with them to help them work through it. Alright, low budget things for your altar and what protection stuff I use for the altar. When it comes to low budget and everything like that, there's these certain stones, I forget what they're called, but what you do is you mark it with a certain thing that is supposed to be on the altar, and you can just set it up like an altar with just stones, and there you have your altar. But some of the like low budget basic things that you would need for an altar is you can use a stick to represent a wand, or a pencil or anything like that. And for like symbolism like the pentacle and stuff like that for earth, you can just draw that up on a piece of paper. It's simple. And like a sword or a athame, you can just use like a butter knife. Usually they say it's supposed to be two-sided, but it's like the intent of the like what it's supposed to do. Or even your 2 fingers, wand, and then athame. And when it comes to candles and stuff like that, candles can be cheap. You can go like to the 99-cent store and stuff like that. One of the places I think you should go to is like a thrift store or Goodwill, stuff like that has like used stuff. Go there, you can find some like really cool stuff. And you know, go there, see if you can find something that can like symbolize something on an altar. If you've seen like my altar videos, you see the different things you can put on there. And the thing is that you can gradually work your way up with some of this stuff and just make a whole lot of it on your own. And as for what I use for protection of my altar, I like to use like holy water or blessed water that I make myself. And the blessed water is like water with like a crystal in it, and it's more like an elixir. And I think I put salt in it and stuff like that, and I do like an incantation on it. And I also like to use sage, and I also will burn sage as well. I don't do all of it sometimes, but the whole point is that it's good to like clean your altar like every week or so because of all the dirt and negativity that can like come up on it, which like the dust can be negativity, the buildup and everything. So it's good to like clean it as much as like you can, like maybe once a week or every other week, stuff like that. Last question. This question is, do I believe in a god and a goddess, and like who do I believe in? And this one, I think I've like went over this, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I have. But I do believe in a god and I do believe in a goddess. I kind of have like 2 gods. As you guys know, I believe in God, and I believe in Jesus, and I believe in the Virgin Mary. And not a lot of people Like there's actually like a big group of people that actually do believe in all three of them and like do magic and stuff like that. But a lot of people like will call me like Christian or Catholic and stuff like that. When I'm not Christian or Catholic, I'm pagan, because like I take some of my beliefs, from there, because I don't believe everything in like the Bible and stuff like that. And a lot of people don't like that, but that's just my beliefs. You can't believe everything you read because people change the Bible. People add stuff to the Bible. They write it and everything. And even the church lies is how I feel about it. Because, like, there's that whole thing where, they don't believe Jesus fell in love with this, I forgot what her name was. But they don't believe, like, he fell in love with her and actually, like, had kids and stuff like that. I'm not saying that he did. I'm not saying he didn't. But it's like they want him to just be pure. And the thing is that Jesus, to me, he was like he was like he had God within him and he was pure. But the thing is that he was also human at the same time. Like to love was like an amazing gift, and that's how like I feel that like they kind of messed up on. But the thing is that basically I believe in God, I believe in Jesus, and I believe in the Virgin Mary. And I feel the Virgin Mary is a goddess, and I feel God and Jesus are gods, and I don't feel them like separate. I mean, like together, because I know some religions believe they're like one, but I feel that they're both separate. And yeah, that's just basically like my beliefs. My beliefs like are like mixed up with everything, like different random religions and stuff like that. Because on Sundays, I never like told you guys this, but like on Sundays I go to a Buddhist temple. And I go there for like healings and meditation. My family and I, we all go. And we go there and we do meditations and healings and stuff like that. And it's really, really fun. And it's very peaceful. See, and, it's not that I follow everything, by them or anything like that. But that's where I go. And, but I'm a pagan, you guys. And I have mixed beliefs. And I'm happy in my beliefs. I feel good. Like I don't feel like restricted with certain things, and I feel that some religions, like, depending on the people in them too, like there's some that are like really bad at their religion, but they think they're the best, but no, like some of them are really mean with it, and I'm not saying everybody, just like some. But anyways, you guys, I think that's all the questions. I'm sorry if like it was long. I will talk to you guys later. I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye, you guys, and blessed be.